Now, would you know your downward dog from your tree pose? If the answer is yes, mine is no, chances are you're part of a growing number of people enjoying the health benefits of yoga. Today is International Yoga Day, celebrating all things yoga, specifically promoting it as a holistic approach to health and well-being. And it's become one of the fastest growing wellness practices in the past decade, with revenues of $80 billion globally. Joining me now is Heather Mason, who's the founding director of the Yoga in Healthcare Alliance. Thank you so much for joining me, Heather. Now, I was thinking about this. I mean, alongside the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic that spread globally, we also had another crisis or a pandemic of sorts, and that's the mental health crisis. And it got me thinking, and I'm sure, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the yoga industry has massively benefited from both.
Yes, I mean, a huge amount of people recognizing the pervasive mental health benefits of yoga have taken up the practice. And I'd like to say that not only the industry has benefited, but actually the healthcare services have benefited, because when people are empowered to take health into their own hands through the comprehensive practice of yoga, which includes not just the movement, but breathing, reflections, mindfulness, meditation, all of this, then they're improving their mental health for themselves at a time where we have never really seen on record greater levels. In fact, I call it the second pandemic.
But should it really cost as much as it did? I saw some absolutely staggering statistics that the average yogi in the States spends $64,000 over the course of their lifetime indulging this passion, whether that's classes, workshops, the gear, etc. I mean, this is a big money spinner.
Yes, in some ways it can be very expensive, but it need not be at all. I mean, all you need to practice yoga is some tuition and a surface with traction, which should cost you very little, just to get started. And the real business case for yoga is not the benefit to corporates and the cost associated with all of those things, but the reduction of burden on the health systems that we see. 70% of the budget in most healthcare systems is associated with long-term lifestyle conditions. And research reveals yoga is really good at both preventing them, at changing the health trajectory for people that are presenting in early intervention stages, and better management. So no, definitely it does not need to be expensive. And I'm a huge proponent of making it accessible to everybody and having it inserted into the healthcare services. In fact, our book, Yoga on Prescription,
we're gonna have to leave it there, because I can't let you promote your book. But what I can do for you is say that I'm sold, and I have no idea if this floor has any traction, because you said that's what we need. But we are going to try and make it accessible for all. I'm a complete novice. I am, however, Heather, going to take off my shoes because I think I'm going to fall otherwise. I'm going to put them up here. Sorry to the studio manager. And you're going to teach me a bit of yoga, if that's all right, because you said that it benefits people's mental health, their physical well-being, etc. So what can people do to reduce their stress? We've got people across the country at the moment, hopefully joining us for a bit of morning yoga, but also dealing with lots of stress because of the rail strikes and whatever. So next time you're waiting on the platform, waiting for a train, what could you be doing?
So actually, it's the breathing techniques that have the greatest efficacy. So you don't even need to love movement and all of that, but you can do some simple breathing techniques that have really positive effects on brain function and stress reduction. So what I'm going to teach you is what's called Ujjay Breath, or in English we usually call it ocean breathing. And what you do is you exhale out of your nose, making an ocean-like sound. So it's like this. Just on the exhale. For newbies, they may want to try to just breathe out of the mouth first, making that kind of noise.